Hello there, and welcome to another op attack. Now, I swear, it's another one. Yes, it's Duality first, but this time we are watching Crunch. Crunch 1, but whatever, Crunch, let's be honest, Crunch. It's Crunch. We are watching Crunch it out on Duality. And a slightly, I think it's a lower level Duality than the last one that Rooster did, but nonetheless, absolutely fantastic job by Crunch. Now, when I say the last one, I'm referring, of course, to the last op video that I did. Hopefully you guys have watched it. It was choke point in 11, and I know what you're thinking, but Beard, if we just watch choke point in 11, how are you going to top that? Well, I'll tell you how I'm going to top that. I'm going to top that with choke point in 10. What? That's right. Choke point in 10. So, obviously, attack number 1. Going to Crunch here. The Crunch-O-Matic. The Crunch-Meister. The Crunch-A-Maniac. Actually, that sounds kind of more like a wrestler, you know. What are you gonna do when the Crunch-O-Maniac comes after you? I need to be sweatier. I need more oil, I guess. Well, maybe not a lot. I got a bit of a sweat going. It's warm down here under these lights. And then we've got the Comm. Everybody loves Comm. And Tim, another name that I haven't seen in like 100 years. Again, these attacks are a little bit older. They don't have, you know, all the new stuff and the fancy, fangly, dangly new heroes and the whatnots. But what they do have is people in the task force who are no longer in the task force. Oh, lols. Alright, so Tim, obviously clearing the mines on the right-hand side. Also, don't mistake Tim with maybe like another Tim that has a Ben in front of it, maybe a 1 at the end. It is not that Tim. It's a different one. And that's okay. I think. I don't know. Would it not be? I really liked, actually, what he did here. I always, whenever I was doing this comm attack, I would go down into the corner and try to use the, I guess, the curve of the map to kind of put my Zukas in a nice straight little line and in the corner. However, he cuts the corner over, you can see where he went, and still gets the same effect. This absolutely fantastic, nice, flat little line. It might have spread out a little bit more to be a little longer, but like in the grand scheme of things, absolutely fantastic. Big fan of that, I guess, path, because as you can see, it works really well, and with a little bit of to shocks and to critters, Ben is able to take out this choke point level, what, 236 point comm? Solo. Like a champ. Bravo. We miss you, Tim. That's a fantastic attack. I do enjoy sitting back, though, and just watching the nodes go poppity pop, pop, pop. Would have been nicer if they were, you know, a little more sequential. I really... Alright, I'm not going to get into this again. It's going to happen plenty of times. You're going to see it a lot. So then we're going to move on to Ransom, which, oh man, I can't wait to show you some of the newer attacks against this Ransom. Oh, you crazy symbol. And then with the things and the... Anyways, so great job by the Rooster dropping his troops. Little bit of a gap in the smoke, but, you know, nothing wrong with a little bit of gap. Just mind the gap, okay? I think the English got it right. Just mind the gap, because as you can see, it can hurt your poor Zukas if you don't mind the gap. I don't know how many more times I can say mind the gap, but it's funny to me every single freaking time. It's not my fault. I've been to London they have those signs all over. Actually, they literally have it on t-shirts, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, as you can see, there is a Scorcher in here, and we call this the Slingshot. I don't know if this attack has an actual proper name, but what you do is you let half your Zukas kamikaze out of the smoke in front of the HQ, and the other half go in behind, and you got the Scorcher there that takes all of the damage from the rocket launchers and machine guns and everything, and you just blast away on that core. As you can see, it does some serious damage. Now, Rooster kind of ran out of shocks and ran out of energy, but he almost took down this entire core solo using this attack. And there's still a Scorcher back there somewhere. You know there's a Scorcher back there somewhere because, well, things are still shooting back there and the attack isn't over because that Scorcher just, it does not want to die. It's doing some serious burning work in the back, trying to spread its gonorrhea all over this core's face. Oh wait, no, it's face herpes, right? Or the cold sores? Trying to spread its herpes. Anyways, let's just move away from the STIs. Absolutely great attack by Rooster to open up Ransom. And then we get SZ, or SZ if you're Canadian. But Stupid Zukas, who, ironically, his name is Stupid Zukas, and I don't know. His Zukas seem pretty smart. They are always in the right place at the right time. I don't know. So, doing very much the same attack, loading up in the corner. He has his lovely Scorcher just kind of piled in there under the smokes. Up there, it kind of popped out. Just peeked out a little. Just the tip. But that is enough to let you know that it's there. So, the way to do this attack, pretty straightforward. You gotta get yourself into the corner. You flare onto the back machine gun. There's like the two machine guns that are, we're gonna call it. Now, I know the whole thing of, you know, is the shore 6 o'clock or is the southernmost tip of the HQ or the core or the building or the whatever, the 6 o'clock. We're just gonna call the shore 6 o'clock because it's an op and it seems appropriate because that's what we normally do in our task force. But at oh lordy, oh, don't you know, there it goes. So the machine gun that's at 12 o'clock at the very back there, you flare onto that, and that's what causes everything to go into the right place. And then from there, you're going to lose half your troops, but once everything's in place, you flare onto the core, everything turns to the core, blows the core up, and you get a win, and everybody goes, yay! Moving on to another attack by Dr. Trey, this time with the Javanaise, which I don't know what Javanaise is, but I kind of picture coffee-flavored mayonnaise. It's kind of, you know, kind of like garlic mayo, just with more caffeine, and probably not as tasty, I guess, because I don't know, mayonnaise and coffee doesn't strike me as like the kind of thing that would blend well. Then again, before I went to the Netherlands, I never thought that, you know, peanuts and mayonnaise would work well, but they love that stuff on their French fries and whatnot. So, okay. Dr. Trey going in, very long walk to kind of stroll through. You know, when you start getting up to the higher level bases, and this is only a choke point. Like, this is not a super high level op, but those walks, man, they start to get expensive with the smokes, and like you have to start really cutting it fine. I don't know if you noticed, but he just strolled past those shock mines like a boss, and the reason he did that was actually the flare placement that he used at the very back. So for his Zukas to go back there, he kind of went, well, you'll see it in this attack by Little D, because Little D got some skills. he's not even brave enough to stroll past the shock mines quite the same. But there's the little 4-pack of machine guns. You can see them up in the top right-hand corner with the 2 mortars down there. It's a 6-pack in total. Now, if you want your Zookas to stroll right up the middle of them, with this flare, what you're basically aiming to do is drop it to the middle, that middle line between the 2 sets of 3. Like if you split that 6-pack in half, you know, like 3 for you, 3 for your buddy, and let's go ice fishing. You put your flare just to the left of center on the first one, and then your second flare just to the right of center. And what that does is it kind of forces all of your Zookas to go in through the middle there, and keeps them away from the mines, keeps them nice and tight. It's very nicely done. Obviously, some super skilled peeps in the task force doing their super skilled peeps attack type things. And once you get up into the back there, just throw some shocks and start blowing things up. It's kind of funny watching this because obviously there's no Brick, but man, if Brick was there with just like one shout, it would have been all over. It would have been great. And then Micro Me coming in, he really is our task force janitor. Like, he comes in and he cleans the messes up that everyone leaves, throwing down the smoky smile just to say hi because, well, like, honestly, 1 artillery shot, like, why not, right? But Micro Me, obviously, slightly lower level, so he ends up with the thankless task of having to roll in and clean up the mess that everybody else gets. And everybody gets the glory of, you know, oh yeah, you did this one, oh that's fancy tagging. But honestly, we couldn't do it without him. Great guy, great contributor, always looking to help out, and admittedly now is slightly getting to higher levels and is starting to do more and more epic runs, so absolutely fantastic. You'll be seeing more of them, I'm sure. And then we've got the Mez. Oh, the Mez, aka Armezzo. One of the heavy hitters of the task force. I'd say, like, you know, top 3 for sure. Some absolutely awesome attacks coming out of this gentleman right here. And again, you will see this name a lot because, well, so many good attacks. Alright, so obviously doing the Scorchers on assembly, kind of like last time, only this is a slightly higher level assembly. A little more going on up top side, like type like thing, thing. Anyways, and pretty much same deal. Like, rolls the Scorchers up, clears out all the scary things in the back, all of the flamethrowers and whatnot, and makes the back a little more friendly, I guess. And then just drops it right down onto the core. And when you got the crazy boost, I'm pretty sure, honestly, that again, this is like one of those things where it's like, this attack was so far back, I'm not 100% sure what his boost would have been at this time, but my guess is probably like 140 troop damage, fully boosted. So when you get a bunch of Scorchers jacked up on the troop damage roids like that, they really are capable of putting out some pretty intense damage. As you can see, kind of burning down a choke point level core, just for the fun of it, after taking out all the defenses that were there. And, you know, having some troop health definitely don't hurt, because the rockets just keep firing away, and that's alright. That's what they're there for. Though, it does kind of turn the attack into almost like a tank attack. Oh my goodness, his one Scorcher even has green on the health bar still. I'm just saying. That's a thing. Like, those defenses, they just didn't stand a chance. They just sat there waiting and waiting. Now, that does change. When you start getting above CP, stuff starts getting a bigger and bigger damage boost, and you just... The Scorchers don't last quite as long. They still do pretty good. Anyways, I referred to Teeth's a Showing in the last attack, and here we go with Tails a Wagon, our fearless leader, going up the left-hand side on Blue Water. Blue Water reminds me of a movie. I don't know which movie though. It'll come to me eventually. Oh right, Santa Claus. Tim Allen, you know. No, not Santa Claus, not at all. Probably thinking of Blue Crush. That was a fantastic movie. Absolutely loved it. It was the greatest. It was jam-packed with fantastic acting. So Tails rolling up the right-hand side, sorry, because he's taken out the one rocket launcher over on the left-hand side, making it a single shock, like a much easier shock, I guess. You could probably still pull off a single shock if that rocket launcher was still there, but it'd just be a little bit tougher. So, nice, easy single shot where he can blow things up, sets himself up right next to the rocket launchers. I find a lot of safe zone work being done, especially now that we're like at a slightly higher level op. Like, those safe little nooks with the rocket launchers are just like invaluable. Like, our Zookas are going in there constantly, because you gotta get in there or your troops are gonna die. It's just the way that it is. Anyways, Tails opens it up really nice, like, for JM, the J-Mers. I'm just gonna call him J again for the same reason as last time. I don't want to rehash any material, but nicknames. Anyways, I guess. Sorry. So Jay goes far right, mostly because I guess he didn't want to waste a whole bunch of a whole bunch of energy on smokes, and because this is back before the machine guns were buffed up so much, you could actually in an op take on a machine gun with a bunch of Zookas and just throw down one heal and be perfectly fine. Funny how that works. Not so much anymore. And then kind of clears out the single shot cannons and whatnot, trying to keep a little bit of distance in between the machine guns and the critters, because he's using those critters as like a wall. Obviously the mortar kind of gets taste before he's able to remove it from the equation, but that's alright, because he's able to kind of finish it off before, well, in the first shock anyways. And then with a re-flare, which will hopefully be coming soon, there it is, he can pull everything back together, and, you know, he's just kind of like throwing shocks down, throwing some critters down to keep things busy, and then once he gets everything gathered all up, he can blow up a few extra defenses. Honestly, at this point, like, I remember it because I remember being like, oh my goodness, we are on track to do this in 10 attacks. Like, this is insane. I'm going to have to make a video of this, guys. Because at the time, CP was, I'm pretty sure, the highest or the second highest. We might have gone like one past, or might have been learning the next, you know, step up. But we were pretty proud with our accomplishments and where we had gotten and what we were doing, and you know, when you get to that point, sometimes it's kind of nice to have a little bit of fun. Just go in and do some hits, not really worry about them. As you can see, Sneaky Pete rolling in with the tanks. The tanks. Yes. One of the last times, really, that you see the tanks. They pop up every once in a while, but I tell you, once you get up above, really, once even at CP level, they're kind of useless. I don't know. They don't seem to pack enough of a punch. Like it seems like Heavy Zuka is a much better way to go. But, you know, when you're already almost down the entire op and you still have 15 attacks to go, you do what you gotta do, right? You goof around a little bit, you have a good time. That's the other thing. We're, you know, taking down this op in 10 attacks with not really, well, you know, I can't say that we were slacking, but definitely not trying our hardest. And then, just to finish everything off, RF Richard's Fort, another name that you will hear a lot from. Again, one of our very heavy hitters, super skilled, crazy person who does super skilled, crazy attacks, comes in with a bunch of Zukas, just literally walking around the entire base just for the fun of it. No other reason than the fact that, you know, like, if you got the energy and you got the time, why not, right? And then sets up shop right next to the core and starts smoking. That's right, just showing off a few extra smokes just for the fun of it. You know, just chilling, trolling, and, you know, doing what he does best, but knowing that things were well in hand. And then when he's fully ready, starts doing the actual attack, starts taking down the core without too much effort, and finishing the op in 10. Anyways, guys, thanks very much for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully it's been entertaining. And most importantly, hopefully you guys have a fantastic day.